I always tell everybody, unless you invented fire, you didn't invent barbecue, so you learned it from somebody.
It's almost weird. In barbecue, it's almost if you don't have a line, you're not respected, I guess. I don't know, it seems like that to me. I like to go to a busy barbecue place.
You know, there's always room for more good barbecue, you know? And what has happened is it's putting St. Louis back on the map.
I think it's a party food. You know, you come in here and the atmospheres of excitement.
It really is comfort food. It's casual. You know, there's nothing uptight about it.
When we get the recognition, which is, I'm always kind of humbled and embarrassed by it, that, you know, we put St. Louis on the map for barbecue. That's a little strong. You know, there's always somebody that comes before you.
My history of barbecue in St. Louis starts when I'm about 5 years old, grilling pork steaks in my backyard on the south side.
Hey, can I get a brisket sandwich?
I think we should be in the consideration for one of the best barbecue cities in the country.
And when you bend it like this, it'll just start, see that one's not complete, that's still got a little stiffness to it, but that'll eventually just start to gently tug and it'll pull away from the bone. And that's how we know a rib is done. We're the only city known for a rib. I kind of got into a period where I started doing some competition cooking with a good friend who became my partner, a man by the name of Skip Steele. He comes from down around Memphis, and he showed me a new way of barbecuing, which I don't think St. Louis had really seen before that.
That is dry cherry. I came from Memphis where you could probably find 400 places serving a pork sandwich, to St. Louis where there wasn't, you know, a dozen. You know, I don't know why. But I think it was a lot of, you know, people doing it in the backyard, Uncle Joe cooking some pork steaks, you know, and wrapping them up in aluminum foil and soaking them in malt sauce to finish them off. I think that was the barbecue scene before, you know, the barbecue restaurants actually got popular.
And what happened was the power of TV. You know, with the Food Network and the barbecue pitmaster shows in Memphis in May and the Kansas City Royal being exposed so much, it was just natural for it to expand into the Midwest.
Well, I think food in general got a kickstart about that time. You know, people, a lot of the food shows, the Food Networks became very popular.
There was a lot of, you know, local pubs would have, you know, their little trailers on the weekends, cooking pork steaks, cooking chickens, but they never had any notoriety. All they were cooking were, you know, snoots, tripe, all these cuts of meat that were cheap. So what happened when Pappy's came in is they brought better cuts of meat, longer cooking processes, and a more traditional American flair.
Well, I was a classically trained chef before that, and I had more high-end fine dining restaurants. Whoa, that looks good. But I was always more interested in this kind of cooking. You know, I thought it would be a better avenue to feed like tons of people. You know, you have fine dining, it's like you're doing like 30 people a night. You know, here we're doing like 1,000 people a day. And it just seems like a, you know, better way to get our stuff out there.
In my opinion, St. Louis barbecue is kind of an amalgamation of different styles of barbecue from all over the country, kind of brought together, and we kind of take the best of all worlds.
There's kind of a barbecue triangle that's Kansas City, Memphis, and Texas, and we're kind of in the middle here.
Well, barbecue is the only cuisine where I see people traveling in the United States on their whole vacation and just eating barbecue. You know, and that's their whole family vacation, is just traveling and eating.
People come from everywhere. You know, people drive for 3 hours to eat. I mean, maybe for us sometimes, but to just come and eat at all these barbecue places.
I think there's a mindset when you come to St. Louis that you got to have barbecue. And I think the only way the barbecue scene is going in St. Louis, the future of St. Louis barbecue, is is only going onward and upward.